they're doing. They know exactly what style VP will be coming with. Let's see if VP do come with that slow style or if they switch it up. We're heading into Mirage. It's Complexity's pick, Complexity's home territory, and they even get to start on that CT side.
1x bet odds favoring Complexity coming into the matchup narrowly, with VP just behind on 2.02 odds. But we're going into the pistol round, and VP are on the T side as they get ready to execute in towards this A bomb site. It'll be a smoke and a flash now out to try and pressure JKS off of the CT position. VP going with a quick start into the pistol round, and they're putting a lot of pressure on towards the site.
JKS having to fall back. Oftentimes left as this solo player on these pistols. Complexity may be relying on this flank from blameF to have impact, because right now everyone else are in pretty predictable positions.
Oh, and Sanji playing in and around triple. It's YEKINDAR who's got the solo kill on the config's head, and Sanji's still here, still waiting at triple. They have no idea he's going to hear the tap. Spots the defuse coming through as well. JKS taken down, and Sanji couldn't get away with another one, but it's YEKINDAR that does. And because of that, blameF now in a 1 versus 3, and he's spotted by Buster. Good pistol round from VP, and it's actually a really quick round out of spawn.
Nice to see them run that here on the pistol. I think blameF was maybe slightly too slow at having impact on that flank. He was trying to come in behind ramp, and his teammates started to get onto the site. But as soon as JKS gets on the bomb, I would have liked blameF to peek as soon as that was happening, just to try and see if he could cause that extra bit of chaos. Because you see Sanji there on the site is exposed to ramp. So if blameF would have got that ramp kill, then he could have had a chance of taking out Sanji, and perhaps they could have caused enough chaos. But it's another fast round from VP straight into B.
Rush, oh, he's found a headshot. YEKINDAR's gone down, and that's not the start to the round VP would be looking for. Especially because Config's still here on his deagle, but unfortunately, for Complexity, Config wasn't able to really line anything up. And now Rush is going to be in the middle of the site. What can he find? Smokes deploying, allowing a wall to be created and limit the positions and the rotations of Complexity. And now Jame holding his Galil up in the apartments, peeks down, and Rush has found it. JKS as well. This is a nightmare for Virtus.pro. It's all crumbling. The pistols hold on, and JKS has come in with a triple kill on the CZ75.
Wow, they just got stalled out so much there. It didn't look too bad to begin with. Rush lands that headshot. Okay, you can deal with that. You can push him. You can trade out that position. They just got stalled completely. JKS landing some bangers around the bomb site with the CZ. Not easy to use that gun at range. You have to conserve that ammo successfully, which he did really well. And now VP coming back with another buy. One that doesn't look too great across the board, but at least YEKINDAR has the AK and Jame has that scout. And he's landed that tag onto Poison early.
Oh, YEKINDAR, he looked the wrong way. And blameF is able to take such an important kill because YEKINDAR was really what they were relying upon to get them something in this one. Config's going to make sure that he was there alone. In fact, the AK was alone. So blameF's top mid play might just work out for a couple of picks here. Sanji's around the corner, and blameF spots them. Nothing out of it. And I love the composure, the discipline not to overexpose themselves to these pistols. Sometimes you can feel quite confident and take those fights and overextend and give away opportunities, but Complexity are not doing that, and they keep 5 alive, albeit they did nearly lose a few players, but they do get the round win.
Somewhat unfortunate for VP there that at the start of the round, Jame peeked mid with the scout and tagged Poison and got him off the angle. So because of that, I believe YEKINDAR was expecting mid to be clear because they got that scout out of window. And that's why he's not looking towards mid. He's not ready for that position of blameF. Because Jame had landed that early shot, they assumed it was just the sniper holding mid, when in fact, blameF had been able to sneak up close. And blameF wants to go aggressive into mid again, this time just the pistols to meet him.
blameF looking to find himself damage that itch. It was underwhelming. It could have got something Hawk, but I guess that just proves what kind of people we are. We're just hoping that it damages everybody.
True, true. Hey, it would have looked nice. It would have looked cool. blameF is not getting given these clear opportunities here.
He's really trying to make the rounds quicker for us, isn't he? He's trying to get this back on schedule, and blameF is really trying to force these issues up against the Glocks, but They're just sitting back, and blameF doesn't care. He's had enough. He's had enough of these pesky little blocks. He's taking them down through the smokes as well. And they're still waiting. It's making it long.
Tempting blameF into the push, which will take.
Oh.
And eventually they take him out. 1 HP on Jame, so nothing more to do.
Nearly gets an ace there.
I guess VP's patience paid off for them, in that they got 1 kill out of it. That's what they wanted. And now they'll get the AKs out across the board. Good start for Complexity here, though, on their map pick. In particular for blameF. And whenever blameF gets off to a hot start on CT's side, I'm always excited for Complexity's chances, because he plays a lot of the most important positions, oftentimes around connector, around mid-window, those really influential spots where you can make a big difference. So excited to see if blameF can continue. For now, though, first gun round at the ready, and VP happy to sit in this default.
The thing about Complexity I'm really interested in seeing is, of course we know that JKS played better once he started coming into the team and actually sitting in the boot camp with them. I wonder how much better it's going to feel actually playing on a LAN. JKS will be involved. Oh, that's not a good smoke. He's going to have to drop back under wood, and luckily for him, VP have decided they're not even going to go with that play. They're going to leave the ramp and go back into T-spawn and giving themselves a couple of options and just figuring out what they actually want to do here. Seems to be in 2 minds, but eventually we'll just spread out again and now bringing the bomb back over towards A. Virtus.pro love to slow the clock down, and now they're going for this late round play into the A bomb site. JKS often good at anchoring this position. He can break them down alongside Poison's AWP that's currently posted up into Palace.
Only 2 smokes, but they're not even going to use them until the last second. Finally, those smokes coming in alongside the flashes.
Great itchy as well there. It does a lot of damage onto Buster and Sanji, but now the play starts to come through, and JKS, he's revealed 1 kill, but that's just it. Kicker and Sanji have found a couple.
Good kills back. Oh, another one from Kicker. Now they should get the bomb down safely. Sanji's even got into jungle. A brilliant post-plant position for him, but blameF is still alive.
All right, blameF still around and kicking with Rush, and now they've really got to start finding some kills. The issue is they don't really have utility for this. They've got 1 flash in the hands of blameF, but they would love a Molotov. And Rush just hops through the window, and he's found Sanji. Through the window, here comes Rush. blameF now trying his kill, but this time is really ticking, and they need kills quickly. And luckily they found them. It's just down to Jame. 1 versus 2, the bomb ticking away, and Jame can peek out and deny this, but he's got a swing. Eventually he'll do that. He waits just long enough, but he gets the follow-up. Jame with a huge clutch. And 2 kills to close it out. Virtus.pro getting it done in the late round.
Yeah, Rush just had to predict the position at the end there. He assumed Jame would be sitting back all the way into ramp, which is a fair assumption. Jame will oftentimes be playing far back, but this time he was committed to Tetris. Good effort from Complexity, but no good to get them the round. We are still seeing the slow play from VP, and I think we saw Complexity holding their nades fairly effectively there. Oh, JKS now getting aggressive and getting 2 kills in towards Palace. What a fantastic start to the round from him.
Buster trying to get through the smoke, but Poison was always holding for that. That's another kill for Complexity. Put Sanju and YEKINDAR in a really difficult spot because they've just got Galils. They have got plenty of time to work with. And YEKINDAR has upgraded his Galil swiftly to an AK-47. Sanji's come back up through the underpass. Looking down into the apartments, YEKINDAR outside of ramp. Just over a minute left in play now. They can slow this one down. In Complexity, it's all about just being patient, not disrupting the defense they currently have. It's just waiting for YEKINDAR and Sanji to come into you.
"40 seconds. That bomb will be collected momentarily. Oh, Sanji. The bomb? Someone should tell him he hasn't got the bomb. I mean...
so he's looking at it.
I guess it's a save?
Yeah.
All right.
All right, then. VP have decided to call a truce in this one. I don't know if Complexity have agreed to it, but Virtus.pro is carrying away. 9 seconds left. And this is what we like to call a Virtus.pro round sometimes. They do like to do this. They'll slow it down. They would rather not go for rounds and save their weapons so they at least have something to play with in the next.
I mean, normally we call this Jame time, but this time we can't.
Well, he's not alive. That's the
Exactly.
issue. He got taken out immediately by JKS on this Palace play. And I think that is what's going to cause a lot of these rounds to happen. These complexity, aggressive CT rounds. We do see those come in quite often. And we do see, whether it be rush towards the B apartments or JKS in towards Palace or some mid-control strategies from blameF. We will see some of this CT aggression coming in. And if VP lose those players, we're going to see a lot of those save rounds come in on the D side.
The thing that concerns me, about saving those 2 guns is that you have to force buy now, because those players have no money. So you're basically going all in on this round, and if you lose it, then you're just in the same position you would have been anyway, except you're another round down. So we really need to see a good plan here from VP. If you're going to save there, you have to have a really good idea of how you're going to win this one.
And VP often go for these scrappy rounds and often put themselves in quite a difficult situation economically in their games. And Poison's going to body block that top connector smoke. There's going to be a bit of a gap for him to play with, and Sanji's been dropped down to 42. Utility starts to be used up, and Poison trying to spot someone, but that gap is not so large for him, and with the Molotov, it is going to block his vision even further. YEKINDAR's going to come up through connector, and that's the explosive entry we're talking about. But the answer's been found by blameF quickly. A kicker trying to fight out JKS. I don't know how he's done that, but the Tech-9s come out on top. And this is more like it from Virtus.pro. This is where it works for them. This is why you want to save those rifles, because you can pull off rounds like this.
That's what they needed. YEKINDAR with some sharp shooting to open up the round. Complexity hanging around themselves, though. They would have loved for that molly to get them a kill, but no one back towards that ninja box. Config still searching, but YEKINDAR wrapping in behind him. They are backing away, though, so Config will fall back. YEKINDAR will never know Config was so close to him. Oh, YEKINDAR, now just his Config running into spawn, I believe. YEKINDAR could creep up on him here. Config not looking the right way. I think he's a dead man walking. YEKINDAR running in. Now Config knows, and Config will hit the headshot. So it's actually the AK save by the CT player. He wins out in that fight. Complexity up to a 4-3 scoreline, but VP bouncing back with that round. And we said we needed to see a good plan in that round. They had one. They got YEKINDAR into connector. They got that early kill. And then Kicker just playing really well with the jiggles in the micro fight up against JKS. Wins them the round with that kill alone. And now it's a full buy for both teams.
Buster hanging around top middle. James trying to get out in towards ramp. AWP is trying to get an opening. It hasn't really come out with one, and with that utility, that is enough to scare Jame away. You don't want to send the AWP in there alone. You don't want to hang around alone too often. Otherwise, you are likely to be found, and losing that AWP early is going to be a big issue for Virtus.pro. They're going to go for some mid-control. The plan A was to try and get a pick from Jame, and once that fails, it's all about plan B. And the take of mid is through. Smokes up, Molotov's in. And Buster is the front man on the charge with YEKINDAR in behind him. They start their walk up through short. B-side's looking to be pressured. And Rush often can be strong in this spot. He goes to the gym for a reason.
To play Counter-Strike.
Exactly. And hold the B-side of Mirage, because you got to have some mental strength to play that position.
You do. You really do.
Oh, Config. Here we go. Here's a jump around the corner. They're trying to bait him out. He's down to 5 HP. Now comes the attack into the side. Jame has hit one, busted with the other, and now Rush stuck in the apartments. He's under a lot of pressure, but he's still come out with one. Finally put down. blameF and JKS in the site, and blameF's doing so much work. Speaking of Jim, he epitomizes it, and the bomb's down on the floor. He's going to cover it off, and Jim has no idea. blameF slips on by, and he's tapping away. It's Sanji down to 6 HP, and with 9 seconds left, he's got to find that bomb. And Complexity know they just need to stay alive, and that's exactly what will happen. JKS with the kill, 5-3 for Complexity. That B site was looking like it was about to fall with those 2 kills in towards short.
I was about to call it that JKS blameF combo I was talking about, but really, blameF did everything there that he needed to do. Rotating into that B bomb site. Even if Complexity don't get the kills, they buy enough time. And VP are a team who oftentimes will full commit to their plays like that. They don't run as many fakes as some other teams might. So they have the ability to rotate over quickly. Brilliant play from blameF, who is already dominating the start of Mirage. And now the Pistols should be screwed here. They're running out through Palace, but this will be a cleanup. JKS gets the first 2. Poison there to help out. Everyone looking to get some eco kills on the board. Buster about to follow his teammates to an early grave. 15 kills now for blameF in the first 9 rounds. He's been brilliant.
He's really having fun right now against this Virtus.pro side.
He's won them so many of their rounds too.
He really has. You know, even against some of the Glocks, he's winning them, but in the important crunch time moments, like that B side take, just coming in and swooping them up with the final couple of kills, it's really impressive to see. And you're so right about JKS and blameF. You know, originally when that roster move came in, I think the discussion was mainly around the fact that, these two might clash, you know, in terms of sharing the roles, they overlap. How is this going to work with blameF and JKS? But they found a way of making it work, and you often see them working as this dynamic duo in the clutches in the late rounds, and they're so difficult to deal with.
It's JKS who's had to adapt to that much more. blameF as the IGL is normally going to call that same way, but JKS, I was always saying, it's going to take him a while to adapt. He's played on the same team for so long. He's finally adapted. It looks like he's getting into his groove, as is Poison, who hits that early shot.
Yeah, great opening from Poison. Man advantage for Complexity and Config. You know, he can often be here with a FAMAS. He's generally good in towards connector or short. He's just a Mirage specialist at this point. Jame is peeking in towards top connector. I think Complexity, when you go for Mirage as your pick, I think it's such a luxury to have Config and blameF on the same team playing on this map, because when blameF was making his come up and he's playing in those Epsilon rosters, Mirage used to be his playground. You know, he used to just go around, do whatever he wanted against the tier 1 teams, or tier 2 teams, should I say, and just obliterate them. And he's transitioned that into top level play as well. And Config helps supplement some of his lurks with some of the outrageous mid-rounds and start of the rounds, and Config has got a kill here. So 2-man advantage for Complexity. There's only 20 seconds left on this clock, Alex, and I think we're going to see another VP T-round save, to be honest. It looks like they're going to try and carry those AKs over. Complexity, make sure they've taken some energy drinks or some sort of supplement to reduce them with caffeine, because this is going to be a slow one. It's all about patience as well.
Yeah, especially after you have to wait a while, because we just had a crazy previous game. You're a bit behind schedule for both of these guys. Sometimes you might get somewhat impatient in some of these scenarios, but Complexity so far have stuck to their guns. And I'm sure they would have refocused ahead of this game and said, okay guys, we know how they're going to play. We know how we're going to play against it. Let's make sure we stick to that. Let's make sure we don't get too out of line. Normally when they're going for aggression, it's well planned and it's early in the rounds, which I think is exactly what Complexity should be doing. Because if you get the early aggression to be successful, you can really do a good job at nullifying a lot of these VP rounds. And you can see here another scenario where the rifles are saved. There are some weaker weapons in play, but part of the reason why VP are so happy to play with these weaker weapons is because Sanji will use whatever you give him. He's got a Tech 9 in this round, while everyone else gets a rifle into their hands. Poison, slow on the jump up. He's got to be dead, but somehow he survives. It was the Tech 9 of Sanji that was out in mid, so of course he can't get that kill at range, and Jame unable to peek and help him out. That should have been a frag as soon as Poison missed that shot, committed to that angle, but somehow he survives, and now Config's here to help, but YEKINDAR's firing back.
Yeah, I want to see more out of YEKINDAR here. This is what we love to see. You have such a fiery player and such a slow team, and it's just, you never really get to see YEKINDAR consistently getting those opportunities because you don't have these chaotic starts to the round where it's all about dueling and who's coming out on top of the battle. In the end, you're just seeing YEKINDAR have to save his AK for what? I mean, you want to get the AK into these scenarios, surely, and I feel like if you just have a pack mentality, YEKINDAR can do so much for you, can win so many of these early fights. It's such an advantage that you have that you're really nullifying. And the crazy thing is, YEKINDAR still has heaps of impact on this team, but it's in such a caged environment. I feel like you've got to let him free sometimes, but that's just not going to happen in this Virtus.pro team. It just isn't. You know, you can't tell a team to play completely differently because this is their style. They're bringing a new style to Counter-Strike. I wouldn't say it's new because a lot of CIS teams have done this, but it's a style that I think YEKINDAR is going to be hindered by in the long term.
If they wanted to play that more aggressive style, I really think they could do it. It just comes down to Jame. Because Buster, for example, actually gave up a lot of his roles to YEKINDAR when YEKINDAR joined the team. He was initially that really aggressive player. Sometimes you see it still on maps like Inferno. Buster will be that man who goes in first up banana. And
I mean, Sanji's going to do whatever you tell him to do. He's that good of a teammate. I feel like Jame, you know, he could hang there as well because he's really good individually. I think it's just his playstyle is lurk on the fringes and be able to deliver impact when the opportunity is perfect. And, you know, you spend a long time waiting for the perfect situation. It doesn't often come. And here's the attack in towards the site. Poison looking to try and dish out some kills. It's blameF first of all, and Sanji's able to land a shot and Buster as well. This is what we're talking about when we talk about the quicker plays from Virtus.pro. This is the skill they've got.
Look at how effective that was. Amazing shots from all those players with the pistols. Now they get 2 rifles to work with in the 2v2.
And Buster and Jame in the clutch. Jame's got in towards CT, such a strong position for the AWP. He's going to look out towards the site, and he's found Rush. Now just Config open his hands, and for a 1v2 in such a strong crossfire setup, it's hard to make this work, and Config's going to be taken down. Buster able to take him out. And that's more like it from VP, right? Those quicker A takes, I often feel like, even in that RMR we had, VP's quicker rounds generally got them more round wins than their slower style. It just works better for them. It'll be interesting to see if they adapt to that in this game, because I feel like at Cologne, you've just got to go with what's working.
It is a weird scenario with this team where you almost enjoy them having the weaker weapons because normally they're taking a bit more freedom with them. If they have the Tech 9s and the Ds, they're just like, screw it, we can go for a fast play here. But generally with the AKs, they don't want to do the same. blameF is 19-4. YEKINDAR is having some impact in these recent rounds though. Nice kill onto Config. Complexity still with some aggression though. Poison would love a chance to find this pick, but Kickert's not giving it to him.
Yeah, he's just waiting for the overextension, and that's the game plan here for Kicker. Would have to be a very aggressive play from him to make it work. Jame has been spotted and tagged down to 55. He was going for a peek in towards B, and he's very vocal about this one. He wants them to drop back, and he's going to help out. He's going to spot that bomb out. And they look like they want to go over towards A, but Complexity have continued this aggressive play from Poison, this time out of Palace into ramp, and it might just get a kill here. Buster's close by, shoulder spotted. Poison's not being forced to take the shot yet. Buster's going to peek into him, and the ult comes in for the Bulgarian. He's going to find another opportunity, but not a single kill out of that second repeat.
Sanji's moved in. YEKINDAR moves in with a kill, and now Sanji seeing if he can crack open this site, but the bomb is in the hands of Jame. It's going back to B. Sanji's been caught, but they have YEKINDAR in spawn.
This is working well for VP. YEKINDAR's got that early kill. It throws things up into question, but look at Rush. Jame is coming through the apartments with a bomb, and JKS has gone down to YEKINDAR, but it's all about getting this bomb out. 20 seconds left. Rush has spotted the bomb, and Jame knows where he is, and he takes him down. The kills in the final moments for Virtus.pro. YEKINDAR with a huge round. 4 kills from him. He just kept killing everybody.
He's feeling it now. You can see the confidence starting to shine through. He's getting into those early positions for fights, and he's also getting into advanced positions there later in the round where he can still use his aim effectively, where he can still catch players off guard. And those are the rounds that VP are generally known for. YEKINDAR gets an early kill, then they're able to slow it down. YEKINDAR finds another great position. Jame brings the bomb back to B, and Complexity get somewhat confused by all that action going down. The issue is, the reason that round gets so opened up in the first place is because of that kill from YEKINDAR. So he really is the most important player on the team for me. The only way their style works is if YEKINDAR can force some early fights, force some early kills, that's when the round opens up more for VP to go for these later round plays.
And that's been their biggest criticism from the pundits of the game, right? Is the fact that they rely on that a little too much. When you watch YEKINDAR not get those openings and those entries don't go his way, you could often see VP sit back and really run out of ideas. I don't think Jame's the type of player that comes up with a solution in any scenario, right? They don't usually find the way out of a whole lot of the time if the situation doesn't play out exactly as they envisioned, or if an opportunity doesn't present itself. They don't go and try and create those situations. They don't try and create the chaos. They just accept the fact that it's probably done. And so I do want to see YEKINDAR continue to get those openings. I want to see him continue to have this level of impact. In Complexity, they've really just got to shut him down. I'm seeing Poison go aggressive in towards A, but I think he would be more useful in towards middle right now. Maybe a peek out a window, connector or short, just get that AWP into mid.
Especially if YEKINDAR's going to keep going for those entries, specifically at the mid position. Like that previous round, it would be a very nice way to counter it. This round, though, VP spreading out early and taking a slower start. YEKINDAR is towards mid, and Poison is here to try to meet him. But those nades do so much damage to the man without the Kevlar.
That's a huge counter to the AWP, right? But Config's still in the short smoke. It's revealed a player at top boxes, and Config hasn't got the kill. Now you feel really in the open, exposed, and YEKINDAR just drives by. Headshot onto Config, and a big opening now for Virtus.pro.
He's dialed him right now. Rush looking to see what he can do on the B-bomb site. Rush versus Sanji in this 1v1 duel, and Rush gets the positioning right.
And Jame's going to get away. They're just going to run it back. They're going to go to the A-bomb site, and currently over here, it's just JKS. He has got help quickly from Poison, and he's preoccupied in middle. He's found YEKINDAR, and this A play starts to come through. JKS is in a really good position to slow this down. VP are going to slow it down anyway.
There's no trade here. No trade. No one's anywhere near. JKS catching them off guard completely. And this is a position where you may see that save call.
It's going to come in. They stood a chance up until that peak, I think. Because if they go together and they kill JKS, then there's a huge opportunity to go for the opening into the A site. Because Poison's still in connector. You just smoke off stairs. He's likely just to hide behind it. It's really just down to one kill there. And because the spacing's so off, they just don't even get that opportunity.
Yeah, they just didn't even account for that being a possibility. And like you said, because JKS was aggressive in ramp, that's the reason why they don't have anyone else on A. Because they're saying, well, JKS is in an early position, so if he goes down, we should have a bit of extra time to rotate. As you pointed out, they would have had a smoke and maybe an ability to get onto the site. But unfortunately, VP not ready for that play. Complexity go back to a bit of aggression, and it works out for them. And we've got to give Complexity credit for the way they're playing right now. They had a really strong start. I think they've done a good job at countering the way VP are playing here on Mirage. They've got themselves a 9-5 lead and a chance to take double digits at the half.
It's been a little bit of a quiet start from Buster, I think, in some scenarios as well for Virtus.pro. As much as you have seen YEKINDAR just cracking open skulls in middle, if Buster can do the same, we've got a huge entry power here for Virtus.pro. Really decisive players that can make big differences, but they've really got to get that going. For Complexity, it's all about discipline and patience at this point. Oh, blameF has actually been burnt down to 44. Because of how Virtus.pro are playing right now, this is a completely different Complexity than we usually see on Mirage. They're just playing so slow, so passive, so disciplined. You're not seeing the same sort of aggression and trying to get the flanks going and the blameF lurks, because that just won't work against this style. Instead, they're just going for the more standard approach to the CT side, saving the utility, holding the extremities, holding the choke points, and there is every now and then a little bit of aggression to try and get a pick, but for the most part, Complexity are fine just sitting back and letting VP come to them.
They're making sure they are very measured with their aggression, is definitely the way to put it. They're never giving away unnecessary pushes, because they know that VP will take that and will be very good at using that to their advantage. So they've managed it well, they've managed it wisely, they've made sure to push in some rounds, as you need to do. In some rounds they just try and hold their nades, and they still have some smokes left here as the push comes into the A-bomb site.
Oh, good kill from Kicker through the smoke. JKS has been brought down. An advantage, followed up for Virtus.pro, and it looks good towards the end here, but blameF often the player that can get you back into rounds. Not this time around, Config's come through. A 2v3, low HP on YEKINDAR and Kicker. 15 seconds left in play.
Do they have time?
They do. They do have time to get the bomb out, surely, at this point. Come on. No way. Oh. No way. I don't think so.
I think they've got it.
Oh,
I don't know.
No, I don't know. It's going to be close. Aye. They haven't got it. They don't have time for the plan, and Virtus.pro, it was a good round, but the time cost them. It's Complexity that lead the way 10-5 going into the second half. We'll see if they can bounce back here, VP, in the second.
Broken bones and a bloodstained flag. Open road and nomadic plans.
The CT side is any better. At least if they run out of time, they win the round here.
Exactly, and it wouldn't be a VP game if they didn't have one of those rounds where they ran out of time. Let's be real, what a shot from YEKINDAR. Blind, but he doesn't care. He's got the early frag.
Oh, and Buster is looking for the pick here. Takes a long time and actually doesn't end up getting anything. JKS swings into him, and it's a 2v3. It is favoring Virtus.pro in this pistol. And blameF has got in towards Market. Good position for him here. This is the lurks we love, and in behind, Jame goes down and spots out the second here, blameF as well. He's going to call for his teammate to try and get out alive, but the bomb is still in the A site. That's the biggest issue. They've dropped the bomb down. They've got to try and recover that. Luckily, blameF seems to be honed in.
JKS and blameF in these clutch scenarios can be very good at working together. We saw it previously. It was mainly blameF who did the heavy lifting last time. Kickert's watching though. Oh, head spotted, but he doesn't get too overeager. In the meantime, though, his teammate's gone. Kickert has to get this kill, but he's missed his opportunity. Now they know where he is, and they can peek him from both sides. Kickert cannot afford to miss that kill, but yet again, it's that combo, blameF and JKS, who have been absolutely everywhere for Complexity so far in this game. blameF with 22 kills, JKS with 14, and the rest of the squad are just picking their spots when they can, but it's really been those two players that have been the standouts.
Great recovery in the pistol for Complexity, and that's what Complexity have, that quality about them where they can suddenly just pull out a round like that. And when blameF's still alive, I generally do not count any round out for Complexity. Because, especially on Mirage, right? This is where he can just do some ridiculous things. Virtus.pro, though, going for a force buy, and we usually talk about how Jame is so sick in these kind of rounds, because his scout is just unbelievably good. When you have the Deagles of Sanji, who is from the best aim in the world, headshot percentage-wise, he can certainly make this Deagle work alongside YEKINDAR and Buster. This is a round you can definitely get something going in if you're Virtus.pro, and Complexity need to be aware of that.
Nice kill from JKS. Kickert trying to play up close, but to no effect. blameF lurking through connector, as he likes to do, and he's ready for that fight against Buster. 2 easy kills, and a fairly convincing round for Complexity. It's been a shame for VP because YEKINDAR's been playing pretty well in some of these rounds. He's probably won them the majority of the rounds that they have got on the board, but it's just not been enough to keep this game close.
I feel like it could have been close in a lot of rounds earlier. You know, that's the issue you run when you don't attempt to win a round. You know, it could have had a few more. You never really know the eventual outcomes, the what-ifs, the possibilities that could have been created if they just forced themselves into those situations. But when they don't even give themselves a chance to compete for the round win, you are going to see 10-5 halves come in. You are going to see Complexity start taking the lead. And when you fumble a pistol or Complexity have a great individual round, you haven't given yourself enough rounds to play with, and now we're looking at 12-5 on the board for Complexity, who are 4 rounds away from closing this one out already. And this is Complexity's map pick. I said coming into the series, I wanted to see this come through for them. Dust 2's up next, and that is going to be Virtus.pro's map pick. And we know their T side is much better on Dust 2. But they still have the same issues there sometimes.
I'll still be hoping they can come back into Mirage, but it doesn't seem likely right now. With how this game has been going, they're down to a low buy again. Poison moving in through short. Thought for a second he may have been spotted from some of those players on A, but the connector smoke on the backside means that he's fine. blameF loves to play in and around this connector. He's here again, although these pistols wouldn't mind this fight against him. And there's the trade kill. Good work from Kickup.
Yeah, really good work from him. He's been able to pick up the kill on Complexity. Oh, they're going to start getting a few back now. Config with a great headshot in towards the back of the bench. YEKINDAR has hit the deck. Poison's going to throw his smoke out. Jumps up the ladder. Complexity now covering off the extremities of the B side. As they take it, they'll start to plant the bomb. And for Virtus.pro, it's going to be the same, because you're looking at this situation, they do have something of value to save into the next round. If they are to throw this all away, you have an AK here that you don't want to lose in the hands of Kicker. If you can pull some of the Complexity players into, maybe you can even come out with something else.
Always a chance. Config is certainly a man who likes to take fights, but yeah, after taking some damage, I decided to back away.
I feel like this is the most frustrating game for Config. Like, he's going to have certain circular things that are blue, because right now, you know, it's just a big issue for him. He's going to have to hold himself back, you know, prevent himself from going for some of these early fights. This is a really tame Config, and it's must be difficult for him to do this.
Well, it's winning them the game right now. 13-5. blameF up to 24 kills. It's been fun to keep track of.
Yeah, it's been real fun to look at blameF. He just has fun no matter what situation we're in.
Only one man on the VP side up to double digits in terms of frags. That's YEKINDAR with 11.
Yeah.
Jame has the best KD with 9 kills, 9 deaths. But hasn't done too much to win them rounds so far, sadly.
Yeah, the thing about YEKINDAR as well, though, he hit those 10 kills really early into the T side, right? He had a lot of impact in the T side, so he's kind of slowed down a little bit. We do need to see some explosive moments out of Virtus.pro. I think an explosive moment, a big individual play, that could get them right back into this mentally. But right now, Complexity are just on autopilot. Just round win, no issue. And Jame now getting aggressive with the AWP. This is an important buy round for VP, and Jame is going to start taking that risk.
Well, he's cleared that close corner, so now he can hold the ramp much more comfortably. There was a round earlier where VP were here and they weren't ready for this close angle, but Complexity, I'm sure, will have the spacing on point. Shadow spotted, but no kill found, and Rush has already gone out through the ramp. The Mac 10 leading the charge. He's gone down early and his teammates aren't here to follow him up. Finally, Poison comes through. JKS dies to his own molly, but he gets 2 kills before falling, so it was all worthwhile in the end. And Sanji arrives too late to the party. Poison hits him with the headshot. That should have been a kill for Sanji, but he ends up going down. And now Buster has no choice but to save. Oh, there were opportunities there for VP.
Oh, it definitely was.
Sanji just gets that kill. 2v2, and then the round's on.
And Complexity now 14 added to their tally. Virtus.pro kind of falling flat here on Mirage. Used to kind of enjoy watching VP on Mirage. I think it used to bring some fire. You know, in terms of YEKINDAR's impact, you know, we can have some of those great games on this map, but it seems to just be really falling flat right now. JKS was just diving out of Palace. Burns down to the old Molotov, but nonetheless gets a kill for his troubles.
I gotta give him a lot of respect for that, because I think in the past, that's a position where maybe he would just sit back a bit too much on the Complexity when he first joined, and now he's getting much more active on the Palace play there, even diving into the flames, into his own molly. getting those 2 kills. Been really good to see how sharp his aim has been too on those 2 headshots. Really well adjusted. 14-5 VP have a buy. They also have the AWP for Jame, which they will be looking to do some damage with in this round.
blameF extremely vocal in this round. Just has non-stop been calling for everything. Utility's going up into short. YEKINDAR's up in the ladder room. Buster's further back, and that Molotov will separate them off. And oh, the boost from blameF into the window while the smoke is up. He's going to stay on the ledge. Oh, this could reveal YEKINDAR, and he's just waiting for the peek, and YEKINDAR hits the headshot. blameF goes down. Really good advantage here, and a double kill now across the board. But Config and Poison, they found those kills back so quickly. And a missed shot from Jame opens up the round here for Complexity.
Smoke down, Poison should be safe to plant the bomb. He doesn't want to expose himself to connector too heavily. The smoke arrives, but it's not needed. And now VP start to move in for the retake.
Poison's dropped back into Tetris. This is a really good position for the post plan, especially when he's got JKS to work with up in Palace. How do you get back into the site here for Virtus.pro? Such a good start, such an excellent start with YEKINDAR's kill and Kicker's follow-up into ramp, but everything just unwinds, and now they go into the site. JKS goes down, and Sanji, with the weakest weapon, is the biggest moment. And Config in the 1v1 swings into the open, and he clutches out the round. 3 kills for Config. We've been waiting for that kind of round from him, and there it is. It gets at map point.
Really nice nade from Config too, bouncing it off that small angle so that it goes towards the site. Helps set him up for that final frag. JKS up in the Palace, I thought was going to be the man to make the difference, but VP did a really good job of getting that kill. Unfortunately for their sake though, Config was too strong in that ramp. Nice seeing Config in the clutch. You don't get to see him there that often. He's normally flying in first for the team, or oftentimes behind the entry fragger of Rush. This time he wins the clutch for his squad. Complexity now 1 round away from the win. blameF taking early damage, but it's an explosive play onto B. Sanji having to step up. He's got 1 kill. He's trying to buy time for the rotate, which will be coming through now. The CTs are arriving to assist him. YEKINDAR here, watching towards the van. Jame pushing him from behind. He could have a free kill at the ready. Config finally been caught out. Sanji eventually out of the action. And Jame is still seeing if he can find this flank. Complexity aren't comfortable planting the bomb right now, though, and for good reason. YEKINDAR's just dropped the bomb on the site. Oh, blameF tries to take a fight, but he goes down, and it's all on Poison.
Poison's got to figure out how he's going to turn this into 1v1s. He's going to peek. You heard the utility being used to Buster, and he's going to go forward for the fight, but it's the apartments player he has to worry about right now, and Jame comes in, swoops in to save the round. Really well played there for Buster, just staying alive in behind the pillar, not giving him the 1v1 that Poison desperately wanted. And Complexity will not win yet. It's going to be VP with a little bit of life left in them yet.
Well done by Sanji in that round to stay alive for so long. Complexity found it really hard to breach the B-bomb site there because they realized the rotate had happened, so they couldn't just fully commit to all pushing Sanji's position. They had to be worried about the other angles. They had to be worried about the rotators. blameF is sneaking up. Oh, Jame just jumped back. blameF gets confused by that. Thankfully for both players, neither of them able to get the kill, but here comes the push. Kicker lines what? 1 man up, but unable to get any more. Nade to the site. YEKINDAR also caught out by Rush, and this could be it.
Oh, Config, he's done well. The headshot on the Buster. Now just Sanji and Jame. 2 versus 4. Flashes go out from Config as he goes into the connector, and Jame goes down. Sanji left alone. This one's a done deal. Complexity have done well on Mirage. They've staved off the game plan of Virtus.pro. They've adapted well and played slightly differently throughout this one, Complexity, but it's effective, it's clean and clinical. And now Sanji is waiting to die. He's got 1, actually nearly gets away with a 2nd down to Rush, but finally it's closed out. Complexity take the first map 16-6. It's Mirage that goes their way. We're coming back with Dust 2 in just a little bit, so make sure you don't go anywhere.